Hello and welcome to Pokemon TCG Center. Mario with you, and today I will play and made a review with this Night March deck with those Bronzong lines, as you can see, and of course with our favorite card in the format, Shaymin EX. So let's start with the card introducing. We have two Shaymin EX with the setup. Pretty much we all know what this card can do. When you play it from your hand onto your bench, you might draw cards until you have 6 in your hand. So yeah, you can also Sky Return for 30, 50 with Muscle Band for double color synergies, and this is pretty good in those Night March mirrors mirror plays, because you can just knock out your opponent Night Marcher. Let's say it's a Joltik, you can hit for 50, even for 30 is enough to knock him out, and Sky Return your Shaymin safely to your hand. Um, of course, we have two Bronzong lines with that meddling. Once in your turn, you might attach a metal energy from a discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. So yeah, it's pretty good and strong in my opinion, because you can just re-acceleration your Night Marchers. And of course, we have playset of Joltik, Lampent, and a Poop Caboose. So yeah, Joltik can attack for Night March for 2 energies, Poop Caboose for 3, but with Dimension Volley he can hit for 1 less, so it will be 2 of course, and you can just set it up each turn if it's necessary to attack. And with that Night March attack, you can hit for 20 times the number of Pokemons in your discard pile that have Night March attack. So let's count the Pokemons. We can hit for with 8 Night Marchers for 160 and Muscle Band 180, which is pretty much enough to knock out any EX Pokemon in the current format. When I was building this deck, I was thinking about two decks, and the first one was a Seismitoad lock. Yeah, of course, if you play with Seismitoad against Seismitoad, you don't have a let's say Seismitoad Garbodor with those Crushing and Enhanced Hammer. I wouldn't say you have Outlaws, but it's pretty hard to play against it. And also those Trevenant decks that can be evolved turn 1 into Trevenant and prevent you from playing item cards. Well, let's say that's even not that huge deal, because you can always Lysander it and negate that effect from your active opponent's Trevenant. Of course, Trevenant needs to be a active spot in order to attack. So I was thinking also about making Garbodor and Night March. This could be also pretty good in the future, because with that Garbodor you can just shut out all of your opponent's ability. And you can also maybe try to take those Seismitoads in that Night March deck, because you can also then prevent your opponents by playing item cards, and when you set up your Night Marches you can just Sky Return, you can just AZ your Seismitoad from the play, and you always have Garbodor, so your opponent's abilities is not reliable anymore, and you can just attack for the Night March as long as you want. So yeah, from the draft support, I pretty much have only 2 Acrobikes, 2 Shaymins, and as I mentioned before, only 4 Sycamores, and that's pretty much all from the draft support. It's pretty risky, but yeah. We also have those Ultra Balls and those Trainer's Mail, so we can search our deck for some cards, but yeah, it's not that safely, I must admit. But yeah, this deck just don't have that too much space, because you need to put a lot of cards inside. I was thinking maybe about cutting these metal energies up to 3 and maybe just playing 2 muscle bands, and in that case I can just put 2 more cards for draw, something like 4 Acrobikes or something like that. Of course, 4 Battle Compressors is just you need to have in this deck. I play also 2 Body Body Rescue. Each player put a Pokemon from his or her discard pile into his or her hand. Your opponents choose first, so basically you can even put your Shaymin EX from the discard pile back to your hand and again reuse it for the Sky Return. 2 level balls, 3 Trainer's Mails, and 2 level balls, 3 Trainer's Mail, and 3 Ultra Balls for the searching. I only play 3 versus Seekers just because I don't have space for any other card. 1 Hex Maniac. So yeah, with Hex Maniac you can shut down your opponent's abilities on those Crobats, and also on those Trevenants, as I mentioned before, but pretty much you can use Hex Maniac if you really need it. 2 Lysanders, of course, 4 copies of Sycamores, 3 Dimension Wallies, 2 Floatstones, and a 3 Muscle Bands, and of course 8 energies in total, 2 double colorless and 4 double colorless and 4 metal energy cards. So let's take a few versus games and let's see how the deck will actually perform.